Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Make Our World Your Runway. This is the show that is all about pageantry, modeling, business, fashion, and even the entertainment industry. We have a fabulous guest today. I am so excited. I can't wait to introduce him. But anyway, as always, we have a couple of great announcements. Remember to subscribe to the Global Trade Chamber YouTube channel so that you can see Make Our World Your Runway. And also remember the GTC success stories. And the 100 Successful Women in Business book is available at Amazon and Target. And I highly recommend you picking up a copy of that book because you're going to see some fabulous stories from women around the world. It's absolutely amazing. Again, pick up a copy of the book, Amazon and Target. And available every Monday, the Global Trade Chamber magazine. Fabulous articles. I pick one up, you're going to love it. And remember, registrations are still open. And the most exciting event of the year, 100 Successful Women in Business, is going to London, England, which is going to be August 24th through the 28th. One show you do not want to miss. Women from around the world will be attending. It's going to be a gala, an expo. We're going to have a fashion show with international designers. And more importantly, we're going to be honoring women for their accomplishments in business and community service. So remember, 100 Successful Women in Business, London, England, August 24th to the 28th. Sign up today at www.100swb.com. Again, one event you do not want to miss. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I am so excited to introduce my next guest. He is the president of the Global Trade Chamber. I have been with him for going on 21 years. He's amazing. He has just brought businesses around the world together. As far as I'm concerned, he's the best networker around the world. He's also the founder of Miss Latina International and Miss International World. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please help me welcome Otero to Make Our World Your Runway. Well, welcome, Otero.
Hi, Miss Angela. Good morning to you. How are you?
Oh, I'm great. And as I told the audience, you and I have been together for what, 20, 21 years. You helped me founded Miss Latina International. You helped me founded Miss International World. We grew that business. And now we're going to London, England. You've got the Global Trade Chamber. You're the greatest networker I know. Al, what's your secret?
My secret is to build relationships based on trust and look at the long term. Everything you do has to be a long term relationship because people come and go all the time. So the ones that stick with you, those are the ones that you want to nurture as a relationship. And that's how you build your empire.
Exactly. You know, that's so funny. You and I talk about that all the time. All the people we started out with, half of them are not even around. You and I
Oh,
are
yeah.
still here.
Yep. That's
You
true.
and
That's true.
you
We
and I are
survived
still.
COVID too.
Yeah, we survived COVID. And I think, you had asked me what my key to success was to survive COVID. And what I did was doing shows like this, which I have to thank you and Maria, the GTC success stories, and at the same
Yeah.
time, advertising on social media and putting billboards up in New York, Miami, California. So, following your advice and networking through Zoom is how we stayed alive.
Absolutely. And we even started two digital magazines where we
Right.
help people connect, be informed with the magazines, all about business. One is the Global Trade Chamber magazine, where we showcase and interview people from different parts of the world. And then we have the 100 Successful Women magazine that's weekly,
Yes.
where ladies like yourself are showcased. We find their secrets. We learn about their challenges and how they overcame. So it's great inspiration and motivation there.
It is. And I love that book, The 100 Most Successful Women in Business. And now we're coming out with volume two, which is going to be launched in London, England. And from what I could see, we have some amazing ladies going into volume 2.
Absolutely. The whole event is going to be amazing because we're bringing ladies from many countries and to a beautiful place. London is a center of business for Europe. So it's a fantastic opportunity to network, build relationships, learn about other countries. We're going to be inspired at the conferences.
Yes.
Full agenda of conferences. I mean, we just could not have enough space for all the ladies. So now we have ladies waiting for next year. That's how popular this event is. But if you're not connected to the world, this is the best place to come and meet people from all over the world.
It is. And, you know, I never knew that until my Al told me. He said, where you been? Living in a cloud? He said, London is a hub. He said, for all of Europe. He said, there are more events and more conventions that take place in London than almost any other place in the world. I mean, we now have Dubai, but London, because everybody can get to London. You're coming from the West Coast, you can get there. You're coming from the East Coast, you could get there. You're in Central Europe, you can get to London. So it was a great place to start really international event. And of course, all these 100 successful women in business.
You're going to be amazed by the quality of ladies that are joining us, leaders from many industries, ladies that have overcome incredible challenges in their life and have reached tremendous success. Young ladies that are getting into business and are successful, and ladies that have been in business for many years and are mentoring new lady entrepreneurs. And that's so important because you're either mentoring somebody or you're being mentored by somebody. And the only place you're going to find women from both is going to be at the 100 Successful Women Convention in beautiful London, England. So it's going to be amazing.
It is. And, you know, I have to thank you and Maria for not only my show, but for this great event, because now I'm getting women from around the world that want to be involved with pageant. And every time I put a video up or a flyer up about London, England, they're coming in saying, oh my God, this is fantastic. I need to get involved with your organization because if I can't make this one, maybe I can make the next event. So this is actually building my business, which I'm so very grateful for. And I even told Ron, he did such a great job with my last show that now I have girls writing to me saying, thank you to the Global Trade Chamber and 100 Successful Women in Business for bringing us to the forefront. So it is all tying in.
Yes. It's about how do we support each other? Because right now, things are really challenging for a lot of people. And some are still dealing with COVID, which is incredible. So this difficult times create excellent opportunities through our platforms. The events, we do events in the US, we do events in other countries. We have our online platforms, a big Facebook page for the women. We also have our 2 magazines, which are phenomenal, and those are growing all the time. So we're featuring a lot of people through all of our media. And we do have our newsletter that goes out constantly, that goes all over the world. Everything we do touches almost every continent in countries everywhere. So after 15 years with the Chamber, we have built a huge following of people that are global leaders almost in every country right now. So it's a fantastic time for us to be able to empower and motivate other ladies to become leaders in their own, not only fields, but their own communities. Because in some communities, it's still not that easy for women to move up in the world. Do you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. I see it all the time. I see it in a lot of foreign countries that I'm dealing with. A lot of women want to come to the pageant, and it's very hard for them. They either can't get a visa or their government doesn't really approve. But now they're seeing this. And I've noticed that even in South Africa and Nigeria, the Global Trade Chamber, it's actually opening up opportunities because now I've got a girl coming in from Nigeria that's going to compete. She did get the visa. And when she got the visa, I happened to put in the visa letter that, you know, my organization works with 100 Successful Women in the Global Trade Chamber. And by saying that, that's how she got the visa. because
Wow,
they
that's amazing.
realize, yeah, that we are opening up the doors for women, but we are doing it in a very successful way. We're not getting political. We're not pinning people against one
No,
another. We're not
absolutely.
arguing with we're not arguing with governments. We're encouraging governments to get involved the proper way. So
Yep.
this is a magnificent opportunity. In fact, one of my future goals is I hope one of the shows that we do, we can actually bring the entire pageant there. Oh,
Oh,
now
that's amazing.
we'll have women, really women from all over the world. The United States. I mean, if I get 42 countries and you get 100, you can imagine in a place all these women. And just like Miss Universe, where their friends and their families come to cheer them on because they want to see their delegate win.
Exactly. So
So
it's all about creating opportunities right now, and it's working because people want to connect. And what better way to connect to leaders and industry giants, CEOs, presidents that are there to help other people. All these ladies that we're recognizing at the awards banquet are all ladies that are leaders in their countries and in their industry. So for
yes,
somebody to come here from another country, that could possibly open a new country for them just through these connections to open their business and expand. It's happening all the time. So
yeah,
very
exactly.
exciting.
I mean, look at Caroline, look at Jaya. I mean, they're amazing. And the girl that really impresses me is the one that owns like 7 McDonald's. Oh
Oh
my
yeah,
God.
she's wonderful. Yeah,
She
yeah,
is absolutely amazing.
yeah.
But let's face it, how about our very own Maria Davila, who is started the 100 Successful Women in Business, who knows how to coach women. I mean, look what Maria does for me. I mean, she'll look at my show and say, do not do this, do this. I mean, even right down to the color that I should be wearing. I mean, she's great. She's a great mentor. I've learned so much from her, even when it comes to talking to the media or even going out and about when I'm at events and I'm doing interviews. Maria has taught me a lot. So all of us and all the women coming over could learn a lot just from Maria, our very CEO.
Yes, yes. And you, Angela, you've done so much for so many young ladies around the globe that nobody has done what you have done because you're come from a place of serving and helping people. Uh, as opposed to other pageants, it's all about the glamour, but nothing always to inspire and motivate. So I think it's a unique time. Maria
Yes,
Rene, our CEO, she's the co-founder of the chamber, and as you know, she started when she was 17, her first company. So talk
yes.
about experience. And
Oh,
her primary focus is how can we help women, and that has taken off like a rocket in the past 5 years, and it's just going to keep growing from country to country. And it's a great team that we have put together.
yeah,
Very
it is.
exciting.
It's a great team. And it's so funny because when I had told you I was going to connect with the cruise line, which has been pretty successful for me, Miss Universe decided that they were going to follow me. And now they are hooking up with Carnival Cruise Line. Where
Uh,
did they get that from? Watching
you,
me.
yeah,
So
a
when
lot
you
of
told
things that we do.
yeah, when you told me, you said, well, it might not be a bad idea getting involved with the cruise line because they could become a sponsor. And I've been with them for 5 years. And then I'm watching Miss Universe, and now they got the CEO from Miss Universe, which is a woman. She's a
Uh-huh.
judge. She's giving out the Carnival Award. And I'm like, okay, where did they get that from? From watching
Exactly.
what I'm doing.
Exactly.
So you're 100% correct that even people that have been around a long time and think they have a formula to do something are now watching what we're doing.
That's it, because they don't have anything new. They've been
Right.
doing the same thing forever. And a lot of those organizations that we have seen come and go, they have never changed their model. So things have to evolve constantly. In these times
Constant.
of, it's hard to travel, not as easy
Yeah.
as it used to be.
No.
So you still need access to other people, and you need new clients from new countries. So our platform, which is all digital, is perfect for today's times because it's a global economy, and yet it's not as easy to travel as before. So it has to be a
No,
combination. Yep. So
exactly.
your
And
bills are coming from everywhere.
and around the world, the global economies are not good. They've all got their problems, and we don't only have it here, but Europe has got their problems as well. So this is almost like a fresh face coming to Europe, where people are saying, "Wow, even in with global economies, with COVID, look at what the Global Trade Chamber and 100 successful women in business are doing." It's like bringing light to the world, you know. And if you look back in history during the Dark Ages, when they started writing books again, the world opened up. The other day, I was reading a quote from Einstein, and you just said something perfectly. He said, if it's not working, change your habits. And that's what you've done. We've
Exactly.
created something that other things weren't working for people, even people that have been around for years, and now see this, are trying to copy it and maybe trying to do it in a different vein, but they're looking exactly at what we're doing.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what we've been dealing with for years, is that we were the first chamber to actually connect companies in different parts of the world. And
Right.
that other companies and organizations have tried to do that unsuccessfully, unfortunately, because they don't know how to do it. So they think they're just saying that they're doing international business or connecting companies worldwide. That doesn't work. You have to
No,
truly have to do it. And if you have no idea where to do it, it doesn't work. So the idea is to be there and stay. You have to have staying power because today people try things all the time, new things. They try new projects, they try new ideas, but it takes time to build something. It doesn't
it
happen
does.
overnight. And that's what
No,
people want to do. They want to build something overnight, and it's not going to work because people see that you don't know what you're doing because you're just starting to do something. So that
exactly.
sets us apart.
Yeah, and that's a very good point because I've always followed the United States Chamber of Commerce and even the United States Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. And with COVID, they really got hurt. They don't even put up a post anymore. And they're supposed to be international. They
Yes.
don't even put up anything. I haven't even seen them advertise. And it's funny because the other day, when I put up something about London, England, somebody from the United States Chamber of Commerce came right in and said, "Oh, this is fabulous." So they're
Yeah.
looking at what you're doing as well too.
Yes.
And
Yes. That's what you said.
they're supposed to be the big
Leaders.
or yeah. And they're not doing anything like this. I don't think. And you want to know something? I've looked at other organizations around the world, even women's organizations. They may do a little bit in a magazine here, a little bit in a magazine here, but they're not doing a whole conference, expo, fashion show, gala. Nobody's doing this.
No, because they were not able to survive COVID. A lot of these companies and even those, so I speak to people from small organizations that were very successful prior to COVID, but they were not able to maintain themselves in the
No,
organization through COVID. So they're now trying to start again because they lost momentum. But we never closed, we never stopped. What we did, we adapted. We adapted. And that is what you have to do. You have to adapt
exactly.
and move forward. You can't
And,
wait for anything to happen.
I agree. That's what I did. I didn't close. I just got in touch with everybody and said, look, this is a little setback, but it's not a setback due to me. It's a setback going around the world, but we're not closing. We're going to find a way to keep it alive, to advertise, to do what we need to do. And, even you and Maria did a virtual 100 Successful Women in Business.
Yes.
What was it, last September? We did it virtually. And
Yep.
if you remember, I did the fashion show from the port. The ship
That was
wasn't
amazing.
sailing, but because I had, I have such a relationship with Bahamas Cruise Line, they needed that because they had a ship sitting there. They weren't making any money. They weren't getting any advertising. So they actually
Yep.
saw this as an opportunity to bring them back to the forefront. And what happened? 3 months later, they were sailing again.
Yeah, yeah. That's what we have to do is we have to find ways to continue and help people because if we're helping people, everything's fine. The whole idea
That's
is that
right.
we're helping people because everybody wants to move forward. They want to improve. They want to find new tools and ways to succeed. And if they're
Exactly.
not looking at everything we're looking, they're going to miss out some of the information that's going to help them. All our speakers, all of our people in the magazine, all the people we interview on our show, they really are giving information all the time and powerful tips and tools. Because these ladies have done it and are moving forward. A lot of them will be there in London with us as speakers, recipients of the award this year. It's just amazing, amazing.
Oh, it's going to be absolutely amazing. I can't wait to meet some of these ladies. I know some of these ladies have already contacted me and said, I can't wait to see you. I want to learn more about your business. So it's like one hand helping the other. Okay. And I
Exactly.
think it's, yeah. And everybody can really grow their business by doing this. Even models. I mean, look what happened when we did the show in Pembroke Pines. There was so many models that loved it with the exposure that went on to some great things. I mean, a couple of our models went on to America's Top Model. I got one girl right now that's Supermodel of the Year, and that was all because of that show.
Yeah, yeah. It's we love the after effect of these things because you're going to hear the stories. They call you, they tell you, I met this person, I'm traveling here, and it's amazing. It's amazing how they are able to utilize the contacts and the information from our events to further their careers.
Exactly. And you know what? By doing this show in London, and this is something that the Miss Universe organization does, when they put a show on in a country and it's successful, they have other governments now that will call them up and say, I want to host Miss Universe, and go to find out. They don't pay for anything.
Yeah,
The
amazing.
government actually brings them in
Yeah,
because that's a show that they're bringing to that country that they would not have. So I see this going forward for 100 successful women in business. That being that London is a hub, the government there is going to look at it. Other governments are going to look at it. And you know what? Sky's going to be the limit. Everybody's going to be bidding for the business come 2023.
absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be 2023 is going to be amazing. We're so
It is.
excited. We already have a couple of countries that we're speaking to now for 2023 to host our events. So it's already happening. Exactly what you're saying. It's
Yeah.
about how we help that country. One is the people in those countries want to open new markets. They want to come to the United States. They want to learn how to do business in other countries. And
Right.
also, the government's number one function is economic development. So if we bring people from other countries to their country, what better way to promote the country than an event where people are saying, wow, I could do business here, I could invest here, and my business or my country are going to connect to other countries and other people. It's unique. It's unique.
Exactly.
So it's not only about the beauty of your pageant, it's about the power that you're giving to those young women to become
Right.
successful in their careers or actually find a career by talking to these other ladies and say, I want to do this when I get into business. Some are in college, some are going to graduate, but they're all looking for where their future is going to be. So this events and all the activities we do gives them ideas and connects them to potential uh, employers or mentors to be successful.
Yes.
So it's not just about the beauty pageant, it's about how do we
Oh,
rise women leaders from the pageant as young ladies.
exactly. And that's what I tell my ladies all the time. I said, and our motto even says it, we're more than a pageant, more than just beauty. We're a way of life for these young women because I tell them by coming into this organization, it's just not walking the runway, parading in a gown and a bathing suit. That's why we have the interview process. And it's an opportunity for them to meet other people. You want to go into television? Okay. You're going to meet somebody in the media. I've got girls that have gone on to become doctors that own their own media companies. I mean, some of
Wonderful.
one girl became a professional model. I mean, there's endless opportunities. Okay, I've got one girl that ran for a councilwoman and won this past year. So they want to get. Hey, I'd love to see somebody get right up into government and go into the White House. It is.
Absolutely.
There
Absolutely.
are a lot of opportunities here, and I tell these girls it doesn't matter how old you are, And they always say, "Well, you got to be real beautiful to be in a beauty pageant." I said, "No, that has changed. Okay, beauty comes from within. which makes the beauty on the outside. But it's the, you got to look at this as an opportunity. And I always tell the girls, even if you don't win one of the main titles, you're still a winner by just going into the organization, because you never know where it leads you. Somebody may be sitting out in the audience and say, you know what? I like the winner, but I like this girl over here. Let me approach her. Let me see what kind of opportunity I can bring to our bottom line. So it is amazing.
The only way you're going to learn is, I think today the best way to learn is by talking to people that have already done it. Trying to read books is fine, but it's not the same as meeting somebody that has been successful in so many industries. They've already authored books. They're doing so much. They're traveling the world speaking. Some of our speakers are international speakers. So those ladies are going to be there for them to help them and mentor them. And it's not a short-term thing, because you have to build a relationship, Angela. You can't just say, oh, I'm going to meet somebody and I'm going to be hired next week. It doesn't work.
Well, that was one thing I learned from my Al working for Cable and Wireless. I mean, I think he was so successful because he built so many relationships around the world. But the funniest thing is when I traveled with him and I met all the gentlemen from IDC in Japan, they were so interested in what I was doing. They used to call the house and I used to say, well, Al's not home yet, but, you know, I'll take a message. No, we don't want to talk to him. We want to talk to you. So I built more relationships from traveling around the world with Al, because I was, and there were a lot of women that were involved in telecommunications that said, you know what? I've never done a pageant. Maybe I should do this. It might advance my career. That was the beauty part about that. That off of his business, I wound up building relationships. So you're right about that. You have to meet people. You have to expand. Nothing like traveling around the world.
No. Or just coming to one event and meeting people from 40 countries. Where are you going to do that? I mean, it's just amazing.
I mean, look at all the people I met, even when we did it in Pembroke Pines. You had half the world coming to Pembroke Pines. I mean, we had people from Sri Lanka, Nigeria, India, London, Bangladesh. It was unbelievable.
Yep. Latin America, Africa. I mean, this is
all over the place.
This is truly global. This is truly global. That's why our name says global, because we connect the world. Latin America, the Caribbean. I mean, there's very few places we have not penetrated. That's so important, because you don't know what your next opportunity is going to be, either as a client or a place to go and start a business or move there. So you don't know. You have no idea. That's a question I always ask. Where will your next client come from? And you don't know until you go out and meet people, connect. Oh, wow, I have a person in Los Angeles that wants to use my product. You don't know. So it's not about the event only. It's about the quality and the type of people that you're going to meet at the event. Because
and you are now. Right. You're 100% correct. And you never know where you're going to meet somebody. One day I was picking my mother up. She was visiting her sister. And I was in the baggage claim area at Fort Lauderdale Airport. And I'm at the desk. And I hear this gentleman saying, boy, I really need a car. My eyes went up. I said, you need a car? So let me give you my husband's card. He looked at this card. The next day he called him.
Imagine.
And he sold him a car. I said, geez, he's been hanging out at the baggage handler. You could meet people. You never, ever know. You're right. But especially in an event like this, when you're going to meet people from around the world. And I'm like, okay, when I get my luggage at Heathrow, I might just turn around and say to people, hey, look, I'm going to a great show. You come to the expo. You never know who's there. You might be traveling with business people and say, hey, I didn't know about this, but you know what? There's a great opportunity. Where's it at? Here's the card. Here's the flyer.
There's a slogan that says, always be selling.
Exactly. Always be selling. I do it in my sleep. Always be selling.
Elevator everywhere.
Yep. I'll get up at 2 o'clock in the morning. If there's an idea that comes to my head, I keep a pad, over by the light, and I start writing it down, because I'm relaxed and I might be thinking of something at that time frame that I'm not thinking during the day when I'm doing 50 million things. So you are right.
I think that you should talk a little bit about fashion show at the convention in London. I mean,
Oh,
so
that fashion
excited.
show is going to be fantastic. I mean, we've got three designers, all different. Tuncer is absolutely amazing. He was actually voted in 2019 the best designer in London. Okay. I
Wow.
mean, his designs are over the top. He could create anything. I mean, he does the norm, but he also does things that you're not going to see. And then we have Shirawan Lewis, who right now is in Dubai. And if you see her designs, they are amazing. I mean, the headpieces alone. I mean, I have never seen anything like this around the world. I mean, it's
Mm,
just amazing. And then, of course, Thailand designers. I mean, she's unbelievable for a young girl. I,
yeah.
I mean, she just blows me away. And I have to send her some information because she wants to create something for Caroline, myself, Maria, and I know it's going to be absolutely spectacular.
Oh,
And to see her on
definitely.
the runway, she's great, and she's also a pageant girl herself. So this fashion show during the gala is going to be
Fabulous.
amazing because the women sitting there, you're going to hear the ahs, the oohs,
Yeah.
and these are not your typical designs like you
No,
see in
that's
some.
what we want.
Yeah, totally different. I mean, you could see a lot of beads, you could see a lot of glitter, but this is just what you call creativity. And that's what you want, creativity, especially in an event like this, and especially at a gala. And it might create business for these designers because you never know.
Oh,
The
sure.
woman says, "Hey, I'm going to a gala, or I've got an event coming up. Would you like to showcase your designs in my event?"
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because these are women leaders from many countries. So for them
Oh,
to meet these fashion designers is fabulous for the fashion designers. It's fantastic.
exactly. And I like the idea Maria has that we could even get some of the models to walk around on the red carpet like we did in
Oh yeah.
Pepper Pines. And women were stopping and saying, "Who's this designer? You look fabulous."
So,
So now it's more exposure for the models, but it's excellent exposure for the designers.
so we're going to have a fantastic trip. I think we're
Oh,
going to have a welcome reception for the international delegates. We're going to have a tour of London on luxury coach
oof.
buses. That's going to be phenomenal. Then we have
Oh,
a
that's going to
ribbon
be,
cutting with the VIPs. I mean, it's just non-stop action. Tremendous
yeah.
speakers all day for the first day and part of the second day. And then we have a tour of the bars, the pubs in London, one of the days. I mean, it's just unbelievable. You can't get this anywhere. Can't
No,
get
you
this
could not
anywhere.
get that anywhere.
Yeah,
That's why London's a party city. They never sleep over there.
they never sleep. It's like New York,
They
like New York. It's the New York.
It's the New York hub of Europe. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, New York City.
yeah,
Forget it. Never
yeah.
sleeps. You can be on a train at 3 o'clock in the morning and somebody's partying. That's always the way it is. But this is going to be a spectacular event. In fact, Make Our World Your Runway is dedicating the rest of July and even the beginning of August all about London. So I've reached out to all the designers and even Caroline and Jaya so we could get them on the show and they can have more insights of what's going on, talk about their creativity. Going to be spectacular. So, in closing, I always like to say, I know we have a lot on the plate. I know some things you want to keep as a secret, but what's the future plans going forward?
Well, we're looking at doing our chamber event, our Global Business Expo, somewhere very exciting. So we'll keep you posted. It's going to be a fantastic place that's going to host our business convention from all over the world. So keep an eye out for our newsletters. And also, we're looking at a couple of countries for the 100 Successful Women Convention for 2023 that we're already meeting with people in those countries. One of the possible locations is the Philippines. So
Oh,
we have some
love it.
tremendous activities. We're gonna be in Las Vegas later this year, and
That's
we're gonna
right.
be in I believe Los Angeles or San Francisco. I mean, we're just nonstop.
Yeah,
So
I
a
think it was
lot
San
of exciting
Francisco.
things.
Yep.
Yeah. So we're all
San
over the
Francisco.
place, connecting people and opening new doors for you. Don't forget the website for all of our activities for London and future events is www.100swb.com, and you'll see it on the bottom of the screen. So make
Yes.
sure that you visit that, invite your friends, uh, get out there. You cannot miss this event in London.
No, cannot miss this event. And also, the pageant will be October 15th through the 17th on Bahama Paradise Cruise Line's new ship, Margaritaville at Sea, where hopefully we can announce, you and Maria, as I said, will be judges, and we can announce some of these things right there in front of 1,600 passengers, people who love to travel, who I'm sure from the ship will follow us.
Beautiful. Congratulations, Angela. A fantastic career helping empowering young ladies.
Well, I thank you, and you've always been a great guide to me, always been a great mentor, and now Maria. I always say, how can I go wrong? And of course, my Al will keep pushing me forever. But I want to thank you for being on the show. And as always, you can always come back to Make Our World Your Runway. And thank you so much for all your mentoring and everything that you do for all us women. So much appreciated.
It's our pleasure.
Thank you. Our pleasure as well. See you soon. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. It was a fantastic show today. It was such an honor to have Al Otero, the president of the Global Trade Chamber and also 100 Successful Women in Business, as our guest. And stay tuned, because every week we will have another exciting guest to talk about our fabulous show coming up in London. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Make Our World Your Runway. See you next time.